FNB recently held an event highlighting online banking threats. There are a number of scams cybercriminals use in order to try and get your banking details. The South African Banking Risk Information Centre is a Section 21 company established by the 4 major banks in South Africa to help fight organised crime. The CEO of SABRIC, Kalyani Pillay, gave us some insights on the 2 major threats to online bankers in South Africa.
Well, certainly what we've been seeing in South Africa has been smishing, and this is where SMSs get sent out to bank clients trying to solicit information or personal information from them, and obviously to utilize it for fraudulent purposes. The other very common modus operandi at the moment is phishing, where phishing emails are sent out to bank clients, again trying to solicit their personal information, and this is used to then purport to be the bank client and then do transfers fraudulently, unlawfully out of a person's bank account.
South Africa is ranked 3rd in the world in terms of highest volume of phishing attacks, according to South Africa's online fraud report last year.
Oh, it's certainly a worldwide, it's a global phenomenon. You're finding it in a number of countries all over the globe. At the moment, figures are showing that the United States has, the highest number of phishing attacks, and that's because they also have, there are a number of reasons for that: high population, a lot of people doing online banking. United Kingdom following very closely on the US. South Africa certainly does have a share of phishing attacks as well.
Despite the increasing number of phishing attacks, FNB says it has managed to curb the losses to phishing scams by up to 90% over the past couple of years. But phishing scams are getting smarter and more sophisticated, and it's important for banks to stay one step ahead of these fraudsters.
At FNB, we've taken a much more layered approach to security. I think initially we had your username and password, but that is just simply not enough. You definitely need a layered approach, and that could include front-end preventative mechanisms like a username and password, but there's also one-time PINs that we are sending to clients. There are action-specific one-time PINs on specific high-risk transactions. In addition, we've also got in contact, which FNB would notify the client of any type of transaction or activity through his or her account. And then we also have channel limits. We have a lot of back-end detection mechanisms that we have in place. And then we've also got software applications where the client can download free of charge to prevent them actually putting their details or prevention and detection of details into phishing sites.
Over the last few years, there's been a major increase of phishing sites. In 2008 alone, there were roughly 1,000 sites reported in South Africa. A year later, that number grew to 3,300 and escalated to 15,000 in 2010. FNB closes down roughly 100 phishing sites a month.
Well, what we find is that we could see that these sites there's a trend of a site or a particular strain or thread of a site is actually going out to client. We then take that particular site and we shut that site down. So what that really means is that hopefully those clients won't be re-putting those details, their personal details, onto that site. It can happen that that site could reincarnate itself, but then it's on a different server, and that does happen from time to time. So we really try and block the site as early as possible to not perpetuate those mails actually being circulated to clients.
In 2010, police arrested 32 cybercriminals for phishing in South Africa. Kalyani Pillay explained the challenges of hunting down these online fraudsters.
It's a very difficult area. You're looking at perpetrators, number one, who are faceless because it's online, so you don't know who you're dealing with. Number two, it's borderless. People can actually send out emails from spoofed websites from anywhere in the world. They could be absolutely anywhere and send out this. So it's borderless, it's faceless. It's easy for the banks to trace and to do a trail in terms of where the money is actually moved, and they can do that very quickly and very effectively. And it actually is done in South Africa, where that information is actually provided to law enforcement. But the problem is, by the time you get to where the money is finally moved to that account, the money is already gone. It's so quick that all of this happens, and that's where it's very difficult. If bank clients can realize and help reduce and minimize the risk, it's not going to become lucrative for the perpetrators. So obviously, you'd be able to, in that way, win the war if you get everybody standing together and being absolutely vigilant all the time.